One. Hey everybody, welcome to Improv Chattanooga and the show Pants on Fire. My name is Steve Disborough. I am your host. Let me check our various streams here and see if things are up and running. Yes, they are. Can we be heard? Yep,
I heard
we
you.
Can. Yep,
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I don't know where the live video should start. The live video has started, Facebook. All right, well, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the way this show works... The way this show works is each of these fine improvisers that you see here in front of me have given me some facts about themselves. So, and I and my lovely wife Bonnie, who is not here at the moment, she's out at the grocery store, but Bonnie and I have made up some lies about these wonderful people. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to take those facts and or those lies, and I'm going to shoot them to each of these performers in a round-robin fashion and in a direct message. And they are going to have to then read that out and discuss it as if it were true, whether it's the truth or a lie. And the people from the other team, we split into teams. You'll see that Laura is our captain for the team along the top, and Al is our captain for the team in the middle, and I am your host here at the bottom. So then people from the other team will get to ask questions to try and determine if it is the truth or a lie. And then after a little while, we'll call it, and the other team will have to make a decision. And if they're right, they'll get a point, and if they're wrong, the other team gets a point. So here we go. We're going to start off with our first thing is for Laura. So Laura, let me send you your fact, and here we go.
I have a very specific bedtime routine. If I don't follow it exactly, I cannot go to sleep.
Okay, what is the routine?
So I go for a wee, TMI. I do wash my hands afterwards. So I go for a wee, I brush my teeth, and then I get into bed. Then I eat about 5 to 6 peanut M&Ms. I know I've just brushed my teeth. It's pointless. And then I will turn on TV, and I can only fall asleep to 2 programs. So I have a TV bed, so it comes out of my bed, which is why I sleep with the TV on. And I'll either watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine or I'll watch Big Bang Theory. Previously, when I was younger, it was watching like the BFG or the movie Big or something like that. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do. And then I've done it all the time. If I stay at hotels, though, I don't have those TV shows, so I just put something else on TV that I've seen before. But if I'm at home, that is my routine. David.
Is there any particular reason that it's either Brooklyn Nine-Nine or the Big Bang Theory that puts you to sleep?
It's because I've seen them so many times. So it's just like a TV show I've seen so many times that I can fall asleep probably the first 10 minutes of any episode. So it just helps me sleep. And the reason I do that is because my husband plays on the PlayStation. And so I need to hear, I don't want to hear him talking. But when I'm at the hotel, I still do it because I'm used to hearing him talking. And so the only thing that helps me fall asleep is have something on that stops me from listening to an imaginary man that isn't there.
5 to 6 M&Ms.
Yeah, 5 to 6. It's because when you've just brushed your teeth, Al, it gets a little bit too much with the chocolate and the peanuts. So 5 to 6, and then after that, I've pushed it to 7 or 8 sometimes. But
and what happens?
5 to 6, just I start feeling a bit full and a bit sugary. So yeah, 5 to 6.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I've spoken to you many a time before you've gone to bed at night, and you have told me that you will be watching. Hang on, I have evidence.
I'll be watching our show.
I'm trying. Yeah, you'll either be watching our show. Yeah. You'll be watching Extreme. You'll be where the hell is it? You'll be watching.
I message Brenna every evening, by the way, to tell her what I
obviously
Jumanji.
So what Brenna's highlighting is that I have a big ego and watch my own shows back before I go to sleep. Which is true, but that isn't my bedtime routine. That is me just getting into bed watching TV. That isn't me
now in bed deciding what to watch on Netflix. Why would you need to decide if you were in bed and you only watched 2 shows?
This is my sleep routine, like getting into bed and falling asleep.
David looks like he has a very pressing question.
All right, go for it, David.
Favorite season of Big Bang Theory?
I like it.
Oh, nice. Well, I don't know this. I don't know what season it is in, but my most favorite episode is when Sheldon has his first date where he meets Amy Farrah Fowler at the coffee shop, and then you realize that they're like made for each other. I don't know what season it is, but yeah, that is my favorite. episode.
The big question I have before is what is a TV bed?
Oh, I'll have to show you a video, Al. But basically, it's a bed that has a TV built into it, and you use a remote control, and it slides up through the end of your bed, and then you watch TV.
That's
it's about
not
49
real.
inches long, and then you go back. Yeah, it is. I'll send you a
That's
WhatsApp message of it
ridiculous.
later.
What's the point of a TV?
I've sent many a picture to Brenna and the rest of the ladies in my other team of me lying on the bed with the TV coming out and me watching us.
I'm just
TV.
like, how is the TV so close? And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, Al.
Okay.
It's time for you to poll your team gently.
I'm going to see what these guys think first.
And make a decision.
I feel like Brenna has the most information on this.
She's never told me about this. She's never told me about the M&Ms.
So it's a lie. David?
I feel like it's a lie.
Okay.
The way she described eating 6 M&Ms after brushing her teeth kind of struck me as a lie. Right? She said, I know it defeats the purpose of brushing my teeth, but sounded like she was trying to cover up. I don't believe her.
I don't believe her either.
Okay. It's unanimous. It's a lie.
Okay.
It is a lie.
Okay. Here we go. Big lie. Starting. Oh, forget about the delay on the thing. Okay, so that brings us. Next, we're going to go to Al's team. In fact, we're going to go to Al. So, Al, I'm about to send you your fact. Are you ready?
Someone wants to know what Sarton is eating. We can tell you, or David can tell you.
What are you eating there,
It's
Sarton?
Haagen-Dazs butter pecan ice cream.
Haagen-Dazs butter pecan.
There you go, Brandon.
Sorry.
Right. Here we go.
No.
There you go, Al.
Okay. I once asked Jerry Bruckheimer to leave the set of Pirates of the Caribbean.
No. For those of you that don't know, Jerry Bruckheimer was the producer on those movies, right?
That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Why are you helping him out already?
Oh no, I'm just a little background. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask your questions.
Al, why were you on the set of Pirates of the Caribbean?
I was being a pirate.
Okay, so why did you ask him to leave?
He was just being a nuisance. He was just like, he was kind of not doing what he was asked to do. It was a nightmare.
I'm so sad I can't ask questions because I'm on your team. It's so intrigued.
Did you know who you were asking to leave, or did you just think it was some random guy?
Well, he was taking photographs, so I thought he was a paparazzi.
Oh.
So I was like, you can't do that here, mate. You're going to have to leave.
Which Pirates of the Caribbean movie was
it? One of the not good ones.
All of them,
Yeah, it
No,
could
the
be
not
any.
good one. Come on, man.
I think it was the one with. It's the one with Johnny Depp in it.
Wow.
And I think probably skeletons.
Fucking hell.
So were you an extra, or were you like a...
I was one of the pirates that day.
So you were like, that's an official
Yeah.
role. So you're in the credits.
Or no, I'm not in the credits. If you want to look now, then feel free to look.
Uncredited skeleton pirate.
Were you in more than one, or just the one of the movies?
Just one of them. Yeah. I don't know if they could afford me for any more. I think Mr. Depp was getting like embarrassed being around, to be honest.
So when you told this really famous film director to
what was he? Producer, I think.
Producer, sorry, thank you for correcting me, Al, when you didn't know that anyway. When you told him to get off the stage or the set, what did he say to you?
He smiled at me coyly and he said, "Excuse me, sir." And I said, "You're going to have to leave. This is ridiculous." And he said, "No problem." And then he walked slightly away and I said, "No, that's not far enough." And he said, "Sure." And then he left. And all the other pirates looked shocked.
I bet they did.
Well,
Go
ahead, Marty.
Other than this particular instance, do you have any other memorable things that happened to you while you were working on that movie?
I remember when Johnny Depp did a magic trick for some other pirates. That was good. He pulled some coins out their ears.
I was going to say, what do you do? Make a bunch of cocaine disappear?
No, he pulled 50 pences out from behind their ears, and they were aghast.
50 pence.
Yeah, it's Johnny Depp. He's not gonna. He's got the money.
So it's filmed in Britain.
It was, yeah. It was filmed in London.
How long were you filming for? How many days were you on the set?
Weeks and weeks, like 3 or 4 weeks. Just peg legging about.
That's interesting because you kind of
peg legging about. You had a peg leg?
I was a pirate. I mean,
well, not every pirate had a peg leg. That would have made them
they gave
very
me a
inefficient.
peg leg,
Okay.
but then after 3 weeks, they took it away again because it wasn't really practical.
Because you couldn't work the peg leg properly?
It just didn't look right.
Oh my god! I just spat on my computer. All right, Laura. I think it's time to ask your team: Is Al telling the truth or is he lying?
I love the fact that Brenna's just shaking her head at it.
This is so fucking ridiculous.
Marty, what do you think?
I don't believe him. I think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie. Okay, Ewan.
You're making a big mistake, Marty. Just so you know.
It seems unlikely, but he's told it in such a way that he's as if to sound like it's a lie, when really it's true.
Yeah,
but I never.
So you're suggesting I have a strategy for this?
We're getting that vibe of like, let me just embellish this ridiculous story in the first place. This is a tough one because I guess we've got one true and one lie, so I'll have to make the deciding. I kind of want to lean on the Ewan side of it being true because wouldn't that be hilarious? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go true.
Okay, Al, true or false?
It is true.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Yes, it's true. Al once asked Jerry Bruckheimer to leave the set of Pirates and Crew. Okay.
I can't believe that.
So
Goodness.
He
was very polite about it.
All right, so our next story will be coming to us from Marty Gordon. Marty, here comes your fact.
My first kiss was in a bush with a total stranger.
I almost don't want to ask questions.
Well, you have to.
Was the stranger aware that you were in the bush? No,
the stranger was in the bush and lured me in to the shrubbery.
So you were tempted into the bush?
Yes. Go ahead, David.
How old were you at the time, Marty?
I think I was 15.
What does someone say to? What does a stranger say to tempt a 15-year-old boy into a bush?
I'm a bush.
Well,
sorry.
This is also something only a man would do.
That's
and
true.
say no woman would
She said
crawl into a bush with a stranger.
fancy some bush sailor? No.
Was the person...
She just stepped out of the bush and she said, this might prompt more questions, but she stepped out of the bush and she said, could you come in here? I would like to say goodbye to you.
What tone did she say it with?
Do your best impression.
Tone?
Yeah.
Do your best impression.
That was a long time ago. It was just basically, yeah, could you step it? She knew my name, but I didn't really know who she was. But she said, Marty, could you step in here, please? I would like to say goodbye to you.
Hit it, certain.
Did you step inside to say goodbye to her?
Absolutely.
Wait, goodbye from what?
Well, I was a church kid, so I was on a summer mission trip in Ohio, of all places.
Oh, this is all starting to come together now.
And and it was the end of the trip.
Okay. No, I'm from Ohio.
Is that a traditional thing in Ohio?
I buy this.
Is it the Ohio Bush case?
Oh,
I'm from Ohio. I buy this.
Instead of going to a Catholic church, we just step into a bush.
I assume once you got in the bush, the person was no longer a stranger.
Well, like I said, it was my first kiss. So she pretty much just grabbed me and introduced me to the pleasures of French kissing.
Oh,
this is a saucy story.
Can I just ask a question, Marty? I know I'm on your team, but did you use tongues? Did she use her tongue? Did you reciprocate with your tongue, or did you do the I don't know what's going on thing?
Yes. Well, at first I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" And then I was like, "Well, let's go." And I just went.
Love it.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah. What?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the kiss?
Well, it was my first, so it was a 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the bush? Actually, what kind of bush was it?
Yeah.
Gosh, I think it was really tall, so I think it might have been an azalea bush, something like that. It was growing right next to the house. There was a house. And
I just want to know why this person was in the bush in the first place.
I don't really know why she was in the bush. Well,
it was an ambush.
Yeah, I don't really know why she used a bush as her tactic. I don't know.
All right.
How did she know you would be near the bush? Why were you near the bush?
There was a big group of people who were around a big bonfire, and they were, you know how the whole kumbaya moment type thing. And I had snuck away because I was still rebellious at the time. I'd snuck away to find somewhere to smoke a cigarette.
A bush.
So this was in the dark.
It was at night.
Ooh, it's even more moody.
So the bush was for cover. No.
Yes.
Sarton has a question.
So after you married her, did you ever bring this up to anybody else?
After I left Ohio, I never saw her again.
In Ohio, that means you're married now, though. So you do have
All right.
you do have a wife in Ohio.
An old Ohio bush wedding.
I have little bush children running around.
Bush babies, if you will.
Al,
there you go.
Al, I think it's time to poll your team and come to a decision.
Yeah, this is 100%. She's true. It's true.
Okay,
has to be true.
It sounds plausible enough to me.
Yeah, I think so. I think true.
Marty, is it true? Was your first kiss with a stranger in a bush?
It's absolutely true.
Yeah, there we go. True.
Your mistake was telling us it was in Ohio. That was like a clincher.
All right, so now we're going to move.
We'll move Ohio out of my hat.
Now it's Brenna's turn. Brenna, here comes your fact.
One of my first jobs out of high school was repossessing cars.
Did you yourself drive them off?
No, I didn't drive them off. I still don't drive.
Did someone else drive them away, or were they towed?
Well, yeah, you can't work by yourself. You have to go as a pair, because when you repossess, there's a possibility that somebody could get fighty. So buddy up for safety.
What's the best car that you repossessed?
Probably Do you know what a Carmen Gia is?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a really cherried out, like nicely restored, beautiful Carmen Gia. It's a Volkswagen car. Yeah.
I've just Googled it. It's very pretty.
Yeah, they're cool.
How long did you have this job?
Oh my God, only like a month. Cause I cried too. Go home and cry.
Did people get? Oh no, sorry. What?
No, I was gonna say it's not even the first time I've cried at a job. I used to sell insurance, and somebody was like, "Our house burned down, so we don't have anything to insure." And I hung up the phone and started crying and quit. So that's just I have a history of crying on the job.
Did you quit this job, the car job, or were you fired because of your crying?
I quit.
Was that after a specific incident, like the burnt down house thing?
No, it's just because like the burnt down house thing, that was like after a series of like it built up, and I was like, I can't be doing this to people. Like I can't do jobs where I care to like that involve you to not care about people, because I will break, and I had to learn that really early.
What was your job afterwards?
After that, I worked in a convenience store.
And how long until you quit that job?
Like 6 months.
Is this a job interview?
Yeah, is this a job interview? Because there's a lot of gaps in my resume, I have to tell you. Yeah.
Marty has a question.
During that month, how many cars do you think you repossessed?
Like 4.
Only 4?
Like 4. I didn't ever want to go. And I was like, okay, no, you have to do this because you need money and you don't have any job experience. And like things like that are where they'll take you with no job experience. Like it's really hard to get a job like right out of high school for anything unless you're connected. So like that's why I ended up doing like the job, like the insurance job too, because it's like, well, you don't really have very much experience doing anything relevant. So it's like, yeah.
Did you?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ewan.
Oh, go ahead, Diz. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, did you ever feel that like your life was in danger? You mentioned having to work in pairs, but did you ever feel like your life was in danger during those positions?
Not when I was there, but it occurred to me after the fact that people might become retaliatory.
Sounds like a really low budget lethal weapon.
Yeah, like it is a low budget. Well, yeah. Yeah, getting too old for this shit type of stuff. Yeah.
Marty,
do you remember any of your? Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you remember any of your co-repossessors' names or?
Yeah, Raul Hernandez. And he was like, I'm not even kidding. No, because I live in Southern California, so like these are the people that you know. And then also, there was this guy that he had been doing it for a while, and his name was Carl, and he he did not know why the fuck I was there. Like, why are you here?
That's fair.
Why do you keep coming to work? And I was like, I don't know. And then I did not keep coming to work.
How did you get paid? Was it like per job or like commission? Or...
Oh, that shit's all under the table. Like, it was because like this sort of stuff gets contracted out, right? So you can have a contractor, and then they'll get a couple of guys that they know, and then they'll send them out on the jobs, and then they give you like a little cut of the money, and then they take the rest of the cut, and then they pass the job back up to the person that gave it to them.
All right, Laura, I think it's time for you guys to make a decision. What do you think? Is it the truth or a lie?
Ewan, what do you think?
I think it's a lie. That is my instinct.
Marty, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it is completely believable because Brenna is so good that she can make this this shit believable. But I also think it's a lie.
I kind of think it's true, but I will go with my teammates and we'll say it's a lie.
Okay, Brenna, is it the truth or a lie?
It's a lie.
Well done.
That was
Very
impressive.
Well
But
done.
that was.
I totally bought everything you just said.
It was really convincing.
I completely forgot I had written that. Wow. All right.
Done.
Next up is Ewan. Ewan, here is your fact.
When I sneeze especially hard, I suffer vertigo for 30 seconds.
Could you make yourself sneeze now?
Oh, that's not right.
I can't sneeze on demand.
When did you first realize this? Has this always been, or did it onset as you grew older?
It was the first time I remember I was at school. I was probably about 7.
How does it how does it affect you?
Well, I just kind of get
Dizzy.
Yeah, basically, and then just yeah.
Like
Just
how
trying to
dizzy?
sit
Like
down.
fall over dizzy, or just need to sit down dizzy?
Well, like if you spin around,
Wow, he's gonna do it. Wow.
it's about that.
That much dizzy. Okay.
Quite dizzy.
And only when you sneezed, not when you
Just
cough.
Well, it's only like a particularly hard sneeze. It doesn't happen every single time, but it's
Like
like a real
a meaningful sneeze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
David?
David?
Outside of the inconvenience of getting temporary vertigo, has this caused any issues in your life?
Well, I mean, it's not great when you're driving, I'll be honest, but it's, so far so good.
Is this an officially diagnosed condition, or is this just your best proclamation of what occurs to you when you sneeze particularly hard?
Well, it's not got a name or anything, but, it's just sneezy.
So you're just calling it vertigo. You're calling it vertigo is what I'm trying to suss out here.
Oh, yeah, but if you watch the film Vertigo, it's very similar to that. It's
like the foreground and the background.
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart always sneezed.
Come on.
Is it similar? Have you got any other health conditions that are similar to other Hitchcock movies?
Like, I've got a bit of a sore back. No.
Case of the birds.
Yeah.
Like rear
window.
Rear window.
Rear window.
Yeah.
Rope. 39 stairs. Rebecca.
North by Northwest? No.
His butt is clear. He's got a rear window.
Man who knew too much.
Do you sneeze much? Are you much of a sneezer?
Well,
on average, would you say you sneeze as much as the normal person?
I think so.
It's a hard question.
Has anything really bad ever happened because of this? Like anything where you were just like, oh no, I've sneezed. Oh, here comes the dizzy. And then like you fell out of the second story window or something like.
No, I mean, I just try and hide it. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing because people are like, oh, you okay? But it's nothing really bad.
Okay, that stands.
And is it always like 30 seconds is quite a long time, really.
Wow, it's just a rough.
When you're dizzy, 30 seconds is like half a clock, so that's quite a lot to wait.
Oh yeah, but I just stand and look at a clock, and then I know when I get to I know I'll be okay.
Is it quite specific?
Well, no, it's just a rough.
Okay.
It's around about that.
Roughly 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Martin's got a question. Yeah.
Does anything happen when you fart?
You see, this is why I don't talk about it, because
you get ridiculed.
Fair point.
Now I will say I spend a decent amount of time with Ewan, I feel like this is something that he would get embarrassed about because that scans for his personality, but he might just be saying that.
I mean, I don't really want to poke fun at it in case it's true.
Yeah, right?
Because it sounds like it could be quite a tricky thing to live with. Is it a tricky thing to live with?
Not really. I mean, you don't sneeze. Like, when was the last time you sneezed? I
sneeze all the time. I have horrible allergies.
Today.
Oh, all right.
I don't remember the last time I sneezed, actually.
No, nor me.
Maybe the Scottish don't sneeze as much.
All right, Al. It's time for your team to. It's time for your team to make a decision. Do you think it's true or a lie?
Brenna?
I think it's true. Because I've never seen him sneeze.
I'm pushing towards true, but I kind of hope it's false because otherwise I feel a bit guilty. David?
I think he's telling the truth.
You say that, but when he said it was like the film Vertigo. Okay, I'm gonna say true, but I kind of think it might be a lie because of that.
Ewan, are you telling the truth or is it a lie?
It's a lie.
Damn it!
Well done, Ewan.
Oh!
All right.
I'm so relieved. I'm very relieved.
Yeah. I would tell you to go get a goddamn CAT scan.
Next up, it's David Sarton. David, here comes your fact.
Okay. Here we go. So, in college, I made spare change as a bowling instructor.
What does spare change mean?
So, I love this.
Spare change.
Oh.
You know, spare change.
Bowling.
So I know what spare is in bowling. It's a pun. I get it. But to you, what did spare change mean? Was that like $10, $100, a bit of sex on the side? What?
It was usually, I didn't charge all that much. I charged about $25 total for like 8 sessions. And even then I felt bad about it. The guy insisted that I charge him for it.
So how long would it? Go ahead, Ewan.
So you're working in the bowling alley, resetting the pins?
No. I actually didn't work at a bowling alley. I was just a bowling enthusiast. I actually worked at 10 Pins in Ridgeland I didn't work there. I was, I say I worked there. I tutored the guy there, but I went there a lot to 10 Pins. And yeah. Brenna, you all right?
Great. So good.
Marty, what were you going to ask?
So you say you did about 8 sessions for $25. How long would like one session last?
That'd usually be about an hour. We would typically go over things like, because Marcus, the guy that I taught, he had no idea how to bowl. He was just trying to learn how to bowl to impress people he knew. So I had to teach him the absolute most basic stuff, proper way to wear a shoe. I know that sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous, but there's a way that you have to lace it perfectly so that it doesn't cause any problems with your feet.
Your team have cracked, David. How old were you when you were doing this?
This was when I was in college. It was actually my freshman year of college.
And you only ever had one customer?
Well, I had 2, but the second person, she stopped coming after the second time. I ended up not worrying about that because she dropped out of college and I never got a hold of her again after that.
Okay.
So these were like your classmates?
Yeah. Well, they were in college at the same time I was. I wasn't actually classmates with them. In fact, what happened, close with, she was the Phi Theta Kappa head. She knew that I was good at bowling. So she recommended these students who were in some of her classes who, oddly enough, mentioned that they wanted to learn how to bowl. So she put them towards me.
Did were they just wanted to learn how to bowl, or were they preparing for tournaments or team play or whatever?
They literally just wanted to learn how to bowl. The first guy, again, he wanted to impress people, and he was not really geared for any major sports. So,
what was the first guy's name again, David? Sorry.
His name was Marcus. Marcus Singletary, to be specific.
Marcus Singletary. Hey, Marcus.
Yeah. Nice guy. I lost track of him after I graduated from junior college, but real nice guy.
That's too bad.
Okay. I
never wanted to ask questions more.
To die.
Hang on. What was the next question?
No, I just said Brenna is about to die.
I'm good. I'm great. I'm fine.
I had a pretty hysterical life, I'll admit that.
Do you still bowl today?
Oh no, I stopped bowling. Honestly, I stopped bowling after I turned 21 because I thought, you know what, it's still sort of enjoyable, but I don't see much of a point to it. I don't feel like I'm getting better as a bowler. I just sort of stopped. Plus, Hattiesburg's bowling alley closed down my junior year. Hattiesburg is where I went to senior college, and I figured the closest bowling alley was in McGee, and I'm not driving that far to go bowling.
You talking about Mississippi?
I'm talking about Mississippi, yes.
Brenna, don't mute your mic if you're laughing. We want to hear it. That's what the show is about.
I can't breathe.
All right, Laura.
Thank you, Brenna. I appreciate it.
It's time for your to
We shall decide. We shall decide before Brenna dies. So, Ewan, what do you think?
I feel like it's true.
Really?
Marty,
Lesson one was how to wear shoes.
Yeah,
but that could have been a deliberate decoy.
This is tough because I don't really know David at all. I'm going to go with my gut. I think it's a lie.
And you said true.
I think so.
Okay,
it just seems too hard to make this up.
I'm going to go with Marty and say it's a lie.
Okay. David, true or false?
It's a lie.
I'm glad you.
Sorry.
Good job.
A specific way to wear shoes.
Well, I always had a hard time believing it through the whole thing, but then when he said he was in Hattiesburg, it's not pronounced Hattiesburg, it's pronounced Hattiesburg.
Oh.
I call it Hattiesburg.
He's from there. That is true. He is actually from there.
That is where I went to college.
Are you really?
I really
I've never
did.
ever heard anyone say Hattiesburg.
I'm still here.
That's always how I pronounced it. That said, that's the fact. Even though I pronounced it the way I've always pronounced it, the fact that that's what tipped you off, you went with your gut. Good job.
All right. So at the end of one full round, we're tied up 3-3. Good job, everybody.
Wow.
Laura, you're up next.
Oh, again?
Yeah, we've gone around once, so it's back to you, and here comes your fact.
Yeah, did we get one? Anyway. I forgot that I'd submitted this one. Okay, my husband and I have been married for 16 years. I only agreed to go out with him if he could pin me in a wrestling contest.
Oh, that sounds so Laura. Oh no. How tall is Craig?
5'10", and I'm 5'6.5". I preempted your next question.
Where I assume you had.
Yeah. We had it in a smoking shelter outside the call center where I work.
I was going to say, what was the venue?
It was literally just a concrete ground. We used to go smoking, not together, but like the smoking area outside the call center where I worked, and it was the same building where he worked. So yeah, so it was one of those offhand remarks.
So were you like dressed for work?
Yeah, but dressing for work was like jeans and a t-shirt.
Okay, so it's not like suits, just wrestling in the dirt. Like,
No.
Like Fight Club. David?
Was there a specific style of wrestling, or I'm completely unfamiliar with wrestling? So.
No, David. To be fair, no. He had mentioned how he liked watching wrestling, like WWE and whatnot, and I knew nothing really of it apart from my brother used to watch it when he was younger. So I just kind of made that offhand comment of like, oh, I don't think you'd be able to pin me on the ground. And so he was like, "You want to bet?" And I was like, "Yeah, go for it." So he did.
So where did the whole like going out with them come into play then?
Oh, so we were talking about the fact that like he wasn't my type, and he was like, "Well, I'm not your type either," because my type is like Italian men, and his type is really skinny blonde women. So we were kind of like, "Yeah, we'd never go out with each other." And then he's like, "Well, I wouldn't mind dating you," and I was like, "Well, I only date proper men." And he's like, "What do you mean as a proper man?" I was like, "Well, if a man can pin me on the ground, then he's pretty decent." So we tried it.
So he was the wrestling fan.
Yes, he was the wrestling fan.
So you weren't aware. So did you plan the match beforehand?
It wasn't a proper match, Al. It was literally him like taking me by the shoulders, putting his foot behind the back of my leg, and like pushing.
I just mean because obviously there was a lot at stake, but if he was a wrestling fan, it's all predetermined. So presumably you had a chat beforehand.
This is all just a setup so that Al can do a joke.
We planned it out beforehand. No, but it is quite interesting because then I learned that his brother was more into wrestling, and he used to do. Anyway, that's another story. But he used to, with his partner and now his daughters, do like different moves on them and teach them all the different like Punisher moves and stuff.
How long did it last? This
30 seconds.
Battle.
30 seconds a minute.
Okay.
So if Ewan sneezed and you waited until he was done being dizzy, you would know.
I did a whole clock rotation. A whole clock rotation.
Okay, that helps.
David has a question.
David.
So actually, mine is a two-parter. Number one, did he go for a submission move at any point? And number two, was it a real match or did you let him win?
Very good point, actually. So I'll go with part two first. I probably did because I've kind of learned that, you know, we women have to be weaklings. But also, I think I just didn't want us to get hurt because we had to go back to work. So there's an element of like, how do you explain this to the boss when you return?
You didn't want it to escalate.
I didn't want it to escalate then, Al, but later on that evening, that was fine. But was it a submission move? No, not really. It was more of a, like, if we were kids in the playground, I mean, even as adults, it shouldn't really have happened. But it was more just him pushing me down, almost falling on top of me, but then grabbing the arm and pulling me back up. That was a smooth move, to be fair. Like a dip, but not, because I actually hit the ground. I did have a bit of a scratch on my back after it.
Okay.
I know I'm on your team, but this didn't happen in a bush, did it?
There were no bushes, Martin. There are still no bushes in that area. Yeah, no bushes, just concrete.
Was there anyone else there?
Yes.
To see this happen?
Yes.
And who was it?
So
and what did they do?
His brother was there. Who was my manager at the time. There was another woman
in the match, or it worked.
No, he was outside at the smoking shelter, but he doesn't smoke, so he wasn't stood as close to us. And then there were two guys who I can't remember the names of, but I do know that one of them got fired for typing out the lyrics to one of the Tenacious D songs that has a lot of sex content in it, and he got fired because he sent an email to his girlfriend with all the content in. But I can't remember his name. But those two guys were there, and then there was a really small blonde woman called Verity, a little French lady who was Craig's type.
And none of them thought to let anyone know that a man was wrestling someone to the ground in a bus stop.
To be fair, Craig, since he's been with me, has always said, like, I can handle myself. So whenever there's any confrontation going on and I step into it, everyone looks at him and he's like, she's got this. I don't even need to step up and help her. So yeah.
Okay.
No.
Did you finish in time to catch the bus?
Didn't cross anyone's mind, Al. I didn't get the bus in those days, thank you. But yes, it was lunchtime, so we went back to work. Yeah, I went back to work taking the calls in the call center.
It's time for your team to make a decision. Is Laura telling the truth or is it a lie?
I think it sounds kind of true.
It's pretty true. I'm trying to imagine like a much younger Laura and like what would impress her, and like I feel like nobody would get away with that with her now, but back then maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time believing that she could be beaten in a fight.
Yeah.
But I do believe that she would have been willing to throw the fight to prevent a scene from happening. So.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I think true.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. Let's go true.
Laura, is it true or is it false?
It's a lie.
Oh, very good.
That's the second time we got one wrong.
Bravo. Well played.
All right, next, Al. Let's see here. Here comes your fact, Al.
I once appeared in an advert for a musical toothbrush.
Did you tell Jerry Bruckheimer to fuck off the set?
He wasn't involved.
What was the magical toothbrush called?
No, musical.
Musical.
Sorry. So say your comment again.
My
statement again.
Let me just
comment.
I once appeared in an advert for a musical toothbrush.
Yeah. So what was the musical toothbrush called?
I don't know what the name of it was because it was Japanese. It was a Japanese invention, and you brushed your teeth, and the different. Okay, I'll explain how it works as best I can. So
I know how a toothbrush works, Al.
Not this toothbrush. This is the different.
You're the one who eats M&Ms after you brush your teeth. So
it didn't just play a song as you brushed your teeth. Like depending on how you brushed your teeth, you could play different songs. So it was like a musical instrument in itself. So it came with a song sheet. So you would put that up, and you would brush your teeth, and depending how you did it, it would make different sounds.
Oh, it sounds like an O-tone. Like those. Have you ever seen that? It looks like a little music.
Automaton?
Yeah.
So,
what that is.
What? So you?
No,
had
I
audition
appeared.
to be the voice
I
of,
was
or you
in
did
the
a music
final commercial, brushing my teeth to a music. Like I had to get training on how to use the toothbrush properly, which was done in basically a blacked out van before the show.
What tune did you play after your training? Do
you know, I can't remember. I think they had me try and learn a few options. So I think one was like some nursery rhymes, and then there was like one that was like whatever was popular at the time. I can't remember.
Hang on, Laura just sneezed. Laura, are you okay?
I'm fine, thank you. It was only like a quarter of a clock rotation.
The old.
How old were you, Al?
I was maybe in my late 20s, early 30s, maybe. So not that long ago.
Was this marketed to people in Britain, or was it for Japan, or what? Like,
I think it was intended to be a global phenomenon of musical toothbrushes. I'm assuming it didn't take off. I don't know if anyone has one. I don't. So
they didn't even give you one?
But I did. Like the training was quite intense. No, I didn't get one. No, I had a special one to use on screen. Yeah. But yeah, I got it was quite intense training. So I had to arrive on set at it must have been about 3 or 4 in the morning because there was a lot to do. So I needed to train on the toothbrush. So there was maybe half a dozen people. We all sat around the table in the back of this van, and they talked me through it, and they had an expert toothbrusher who would, and they could play it like when they did it, it sounded like you could have it in an orchestra in a symphony with the way this guy played it. It was beautiful.
Why were you in the advert then if they clearly had experts that could have done it better?
You'd have to ask them that. I'm not really sure.
But when you were using it, didn't you have like saliva and like toothpaste spit?
Yeah, this could be why they picked me, because I can control. Like, I have quite good control of my teeth and mouth.
Okay, so how did you see?
Quite good control of your teeth.
Keep that in mind.
If you have to play a musical toothbrush, then you need good mouth control.
Al, are you single?
How do you?
All right. Does anybody have any more questions?
Yeah, Marty has a question.
How did you? How were other people able to hear it? Did it have like a speaker in it or something?
No, that actually, I'm glad you asked that, because I don't really know. It definitely projected a sound as you used it, but I assume it had an internal speaker. I don't really understand how that worked. I mean, I would suggest that electronics in a toothbrush isn't the wisest choice, but it was great. Maybe that's why it didn't catch on eventually.
Yeah, that's why it didn't catch on.
All right. Laura, it's time. It's time to make a decision.
Marty, what are you thinking?
I think it's a lie.
Okay, Ewan?
I'd love it to be true, but I think it must be a lie. Surely.
Let's just go with it's a lie. It's a lie.
Al, did you appear in an advert for a musical toothbrush? Yes or no?
I did.
Oh no!
What? In Japan?
No!
I had good control of my teeth.
I didn't believe that.
Well, do you put that on your CV, Al?
Yeah.
Control of my team. Please.
Good mouth control.
I swear to God,
exist on YouTube.
What was that, Marty?
Is this commercial on YouTube anywhere?
I don't. I'll try and dig it out. I'll try and find
I
it.
tried to look up my toothbrushes. They're real.
I think I did find it once. Yeah, they are real. They are.
I thought
Have
you were.
used your mouth control for anything else? Or...
My mouth control. I use it every day. Yeah.
We got to move on. I thought you were going to go with I have good control over my saliva, but teeth was so much better.
So good.
All right. Next up is Marty. Marty, here comes your fact.
Okay. I was banned from my local Olive Garden for abusing the endless breadsticks policy.
Abusing how?
When I was in my late 20s, this is when this happened. I was a much bigger fellow. I was pretty big. And I would go anywhere that there was a buffet or there was endless this or endless that. I just liked to eat. And I just kept going to this Olive Garden probably once or twice a week. And I would eat so many breadsticks that they were just like, sir, we just can't.
That was going to be my...
How
did they approach you about this? What was the exact conversation?
Well, the waitress would always look just so concerned about me. And they sent the manager over to talk to me. And he said, sir, I'm sorry, but I know it says endless breadsticks, but there is an unwritten rule where we have to cut people off. And you have surpassed that rule. I'm sorry, you can't come back to this Olive Garden. What's wrong, Diz?
I'm sorry, sir.
You can't even come back to the Olive Garden.
You have terrible tooth control, sir.
Well, that I couldn't go to that Olive Garden.
You can go to other Olive Gardens.
There were other ones, yeah.
So the news didn't spread throughout the chain.
No, they didn't have the internet back then. So they how are they going to spread the word?
Telephone?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't even know what an Olive Garden is, so I tend.
It's an Italian restaurant here. It's a family-oriented,
like
Italian
Bella Italia.
Right.
No, it's more like a chain. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
So
yeah.
why was it the breadsticks?
Oh well, if you'd ever had these breadsticks, you wouldn't ask that question.
They're pretty damn
good. They are really, really good.
Okay.
Did you,
David?
When you ate their unlimited breadsticks, did you ever get anything else to eat or drink with it?
Yeah, I would definitely get, because like salad and breadsticks is pretty normal. You can go into an Olive Garden and just order salad and breadsticks. But like I said, I was a big guy and had quite an appetite. So I would eat that. I would get, I'd get fettuccine Alfredo. I would get spaghetti. I would get veal Parmesan or whatever, just all kinds of things. And I'll be honest with you, there were a few times that they had this cheesecake with this little layer of chocolate over the top. I love that. I would get that too.
If you were ordering this much, why would they be bothered about how many breadsticks you ate?
Well, I think they just got concerned. Number one, because I looked like I was going to have a heart attack at any moment.
I'm ready to render a verdict.
Okay.
Brenna's like, stop.
Brenna says, okay, Al, your team is ready.
As a large person, I want you to stop.
All right, Al,
okay.
Ask your team.
Team?
Bullshit.
Okay, David?
It's bullshit.
Yeah, I got to go with Brenna. Like, from the first answer, I was thinking, you like Olive Garden, but I don't think you liked them so much that they kicked you out for eating too many breadsticks.
I'm going to go with them. Lie.
Okay, yeah. Marty, is it true or is it a lie?
It's a lie.
All right. Okay. Next up, Brenna.
Yes, what?
Here comes your fact.
Sure. I don't eat the yellows of hard-boiled eggs for a very specific reason.
And that reason is?
They're gross.
You like the white?
Yeah, that's fine. It's not a racist thing. I just don't like the yellow part.
Does it upset you that, like, I mean, do you consider that like a chicken abortion or something like that?
No, not even. It's just that, like, I just don't like that part. So, like Easter's coming around. So, like, when we would have, like, the Easter dinner and then my mom would make, like, the deviled eggs, she wouldn't put the yellow part in it. She would make ones that were just like these sad little yolkless cups like sitting there. It's the white part that's boiled, like, and those are for your sister.
You mean she would just put half a boiled egg without the yellow on a plate and present
on the same plate that like all the other ones were on, all like nicely decorated, and then these just like little sad ghosts of like chicken babies just sitting there.
Can you eat the yellow if you don't see the yellow? So, for example, scrambled egg where it's all mixed together.
If it's scrambled egg or an omelet or like a Japanese omelet, that's fine. But if it's like, here they are, they're not together, but they're paired, it's like, why?
Okay.
Why?
Since when has this aversion to the yellow?
Probably since I could start being a picky ass kid. Like, just for fun. Wouldn't drink anything red. No red. Can't drink red. No, thank you. If it was red Kool-Aid, I would refuse it. Or any sort of juice box that was colored red, or any kind of like cake or pastry or anything that was like red colored. Didn't want it. So yeah, just like weird little idiosyncrasies as a kid.
But not other yellow things.
No, not other yellow things. Like the yolk has like a very specific texture. And I think it was especially the way that my mom would boil eggs, because she did not do it by the Julia Child method. She did it by the fill a pot full of eggs and leave it on the stove for 9 days method. And so like everything was like gray and disgusting by then. So I just learned to like eat it.
But like, what about like for a fried egg?
No.
No.
No, thank you.
Ewan, you got any questions?
Well, so you don't really, I'm guessing when you're out at restaurants, you don't order things with eggs in them to avoid the whole trauma.
Because that's a dick move. Being like, can you give me the egg salad, but can you take all the yolky bits out? Because I don't like them. Because I've worked in food service and I hate those people. So I will not do that.
All right.
I don't have any other questions.
Taste to you? Is it the texture or is it the taste? Or
It's
both?
the texture. It's like the texture. It's weird. Because like when I would first ever, because like my mom was the one where I got introduced to like most things. So like I won't eat meatloaf because of my mom. There are just like certain things that I won't eat because of the way that like it was introduced to me as it was cooked. So like when she
or just left on the stove for 9 days.
Like okay, that's, I don't feel like chicken is supposed to have this texture. Okay, like it's like that kind of stuff. So it's yeah, I just can't do it because it was just nasty, gray, little chalky, nasty, gross.
I think we're ready to vote.
Okay.
We're ready.
All right, go ahead.
Marty, what do you think?
It seems true to me.
Ewan?
Yeah, it seems true. My radar feels like it's gone off, but I want to say true.
Let's say true then.
All right,
Brenna's
Brenna.
telling the truth.
True or false? Do you not eat the yellows out of eggs?
I do eat them. It's a lie. They're delicious.
Oh, wow.
My
Brenna
sister does.
is
My
good.
sister doesn't eat them though, and that whole thing about the deviled eggs, that's her. That was her. Us growing up, we had to make them with no yellow inside and just yeah.
Tricky.
Come on, I believe you for a minute there.
Quick note to our
I bought the whole
affiliates.
thing.
A quick note to our affiliates down the line. We're running a little bit over tonight, but that's okay. We got 2 more people to do 2 more things. Ewan, here comes your next fact.
Deal with it, affiliates.
I've been to the cinema in Buckingham Palace.
You're on my team. I can't ask that yet.
There's a cinema in Buckingham Palace.
That was also my question. Thank you.
Yep.
There's a cinema. Part of the structure is the cinema inn.
Well, it's in kind of. It's not in the throne room, but it's in like one part of the palace.
The entertainment wing.
It's near like the hot dog stand.
Oh,
the East Wing. When was this?
This was like 15 years ago.
I mean, there's an obvious.
no,
David.
Sorry.
So you went to the cinema. What did you see, like film-wise, or
Vertigo? No. It was the Pink Panther movie.
Or
The original, like with Peter Sellers.
Yeah, Peter Sellers. Yeah.
Wait, but which one? Because there's multiples.
Like Pink Panther Strikes Back. Is that one?
I don't know. Is it Ewan?
It's a long time ago.
Did you enjoy it?
The film or
the whole experience? Tell us something interesting. What was unique about this cinema going experience?
well, it's the home of the Queen.
Right. So there is that, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was you were on royal chairs. You know, it wasn't just like your cinema row kind of idea.
Oh, okay, that does sound good. And they serve you popcorn in a upside down crown.
Yes.
That's fancy.
Sutton had a question.
Sutton had a question.
Oh, did you see any of the royal family?
No, I didn't.
What?
They tried.
Why would civilians be allowed to come watch a film inside Buckingham Palace and their movie theater?
Well, I knew someone at the time who worked there, and they could invite friends in.
So they invited you to watch a 1970s Peter Sellers comedy.
I mean, the Queen was doing the projector, so that must have just been what she wanted to show. I believe.
It's the only film she'll watch.
You know what this show is supposed to be, right, Ewan?
Sorry.
So was it? Was anyone with you?
Oh, I can't.
There was a group of us. It was a full house.
A full
But
house.
the house was Buckingham Palace.
All 300 rooms.
Were there any security checks that you had to go through in order to like get in and do this? Like, was there anything like that wasn't like going to a regular cinema that was different about like the checking in experience?
Yeah, I mean, there must have been. It's a while ago, but yeah, there was. I think they would have done a background check. I seem to remember giving them.
When was
information.
this?
It's a while ago. It's like 15 years ago. It's something like that.
So sort of 2000s.
Yeah.
Do they have concessions?
And so, hang on. So like in like the early 2000s, they showed the Pink Panther Strikes Back, which may or may not exist. I'm not going to tell you.
One of the Pink Panthers. That's all I can tell you. It's one of the Pink Panthers. I can't remember for sure.
Was it all edited down for content because it was being shown at Buckingham Palace?
Like on a plane.
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Al, I think it's time for your team to make a decision.
This is a really hard one.
Oh, is it?
I feel like it's definitely not true, but part of me thinks that it might actually be true. And
I feel like
use my strategy of embellishing certain elements for comedic effect.
Yeah.
I so badly want it to be true, especially the part about the Queen being in the projector room. I so want it to be true, but I just can't believe it.
One
So you
wishes
think
one
lie,
would take
Brenna?
one's feet off the seat.
I think it's a lie.
This is bullshit.
Okay, I'm going to say lie, as my team thinks lie.
All right, your team votes lie. Ewan, true or false? Did you go to the theater?
Yep, it's true. I don't think the Queen did anything. I even tried to get in somewhere else in the palace, but you couldn't get very far.
And was it really the Pink Panther Strikes Again?
It was a Pink Panther film. I can't remember which one.
That's
Have
so
I cheated?
weird.
I mean, no.
Wow, that was good. You
Yeah,
got
because the
me.
cinema in there's
my
for the
God.
staff, isn't it? So
Yeah, my friend worked at the Duchy of Cornwall, so they could.
I'm so worried about you, Ewan. You get dizzy when you sneeze. You can't remember things that happened 15 years ago. I'm sorry. I'm going to send somebody to check on you.
All right, it's time for our final fact. David, here it comes.
Here we go.
Yeah. Several years ago, I auditioned for Jeopardy! I got to the final round of auditions, but lost out when I missed a very simple question.
what was the question?
This man, the 16th president of the United States, has been featured in several horror films, including one where he fought against zombies. The answer, of course, who was Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you mess that up, David?
Well, when they said 16th president, I miscounted. You see, I, for some reason, thought that Lincoln was the 17th president, and I thought that his predecessor, James Buchanan, was 16th. And it didn't occur to me that Buchanan versus zombies never happened.
Oh, we wish it would.
That's money.
Money.
I don't have any more questions. Team.
Oh my God.
I think I know the answer to this, but I'm asking. Was Alex Trebek there at all, or was it being run by the staff?
It was being run by the staff. I sadly did not get to see Alex Trebek. I was really bummed by that. I was hoping that he would come out and congratulate us for getting that far, but he was actually busy filming future episodes of Jeopardy.
Where was this at?
We went to Burbank.
Mm-hmm.
It was a soundstage in Burbank.
Do you remember any of the questions you got right that day?
Oh yeah, like I actually did really well up until that point. Like there was, of all things, there was a category involving video games, which you can look at me and tell I'm a big video game nerd. So one question they asked, this protagonist from the game Final Fantasy VII shares the name of a meteorological effect in the sky. Of course, the answer, who is Cloud?
Yeah.
What else?
Brenna's loving this. Like, Brenna's just all over your audition question.
Yeah,
This is fun.
Carry on.
There's also one question about Mario. Let me see if I don't remember the exact phrasing of it, but it started off, this mustachioed former plumber. And it was a $200 question, so everyone was going to get that. Still.
I love the way Jeopardy questions are written. They're so funny.
So you had to get Was that the only question you got wrong?
Well, because it was the final question, and there'd been a bunch of other people who were also there who had done just about as well as I had. That plus the fact that it was such a simple question, pretty sure that made the producers go, nah, not him.
I have one more question, because I've always been curious about this. When you went out there for the audition, do they pay for everything? Like, do they put you in a hotel, feed you, pay for the airfare and all that?
They didn't do that. Since it was just an audition and it wasn't the actual show, I did have to come up with my own money for it. But I was able to work something out with the school I was at the time. This was actually back when I was at USM. My improv group helped me to raise enough money so I could afford a hotel and like some food for the time. Yeah, it was really nice of them. We did a benefit show for it.
I think we're ready, Diz.
All right. Laura, ask your team what they think.
Ewan, what do you think?
I think it's a lie.
Marty, what do you think?
You know, I was really leaning towards lie until he came up with his answer to my last question. So now I'm a little torn, because that seems a little plausible. Gosh, this is a tough one. But
gone.
Yeah, no, what are you thinking? Maybe we can.
Well, I was leaning towards true until he answered your last question, and then Brenna's face made me go, "Oh, maybe he's lying," because there seems to be maybe he would have got something comped, and David said he didn't get anything comped. So I'm a bit like, but I don't know.
I agree, and it's the way he went, at that last question.
Yeah, I think I'm still.
What did he do?
Leaning. I think I'm still leaning more towards lie. So let's go with the lie.
You said lie as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with lie. A consensus of lie. And if it is a lie, we'll blame Brenna's face.
They're going with lie. David, is it a truth
I need
or
to
lie?
work on my poker face. That was a lie.
Oh.
I was convinced.
Totally plausible that you would do that.
Yeah. I think it was more if Brenna thought it was true, and then you said you didn't get anything. Brenna's face was like, "Oh,
you know where it fell apart. Where it fell apart was the fact that his improv troupe did a fundraiser and made enough money to pay for a hotel.
Yeah,
that's where it falls apart.
That's
where it falls apart.
I was kind of thinking that they raised part of the money.
Part of the money. Yeah, $2.
So, hang on. Are you telling me that you came up with this mustachioed ex-plumber?
He did!
I did.
I think that's kind of why my face through the whole thing was because, like, I was loving the lying. Yeah. Like, I was just like, if this is a lie, this is so good. Like, oh my God.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
technically he's still a plumber, right?
Brenna's going to have to turn the camera
off. Nintendo said he's
Really? You've lost the show, Diz. You've lost the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to declare the winner for tonight's show. We had 12 facts, and Laura's team and Al's team each got 6 points. It is a tie.
Oh,
wow.
It is a tie tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys had fun. Did you guys have fun playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I thought we were going to have to call 911 for wherever Brenna's at one point.
All right, I've got her address if we need it.
Please don't call 911 to come here. It's going to turn into a thing.
Sorry. Remember, everybody, just let Brenna die. If she has a thing during the show, just let her
Just
die.
Leave me
just
here.
Leave her there. Just leave her there.
It's fine.
All right, so let's go around the horn and find out where everybody's going to be. Marty, where can people find you in the coming week?
Online, you can find. I post my art that I do, but next week, let's see. Next week, I'm doing the Elkie and Asadi show, and I'm sure I will be on an extreme show at some point. And then next Saturday night, I'm doing Comedy Frenzy out of LA with Chad Shapiro. And yeah, that's about all I can think of right now.
Cool. Laura, where are you? Where can people find you this week?
On Facebook and Instagram, you can find me on LauraH_improviser. This Friday and this Saturday, Don't Mess, which myself and Brenna are in, wonderful female non-binary group. Friday, we've got a show, 7:30 p.m. GMT, whatever that is, 2 p.m. PST, who knows, 2:30. And then, which is on Don't Mess Comedy, which is our Facebook page, but then we're also finishing our residency with the Pack Theatre in Los Angeles on Saturday night, which is 10 p.m. UK time. Oh no, 10 p.m. UK time is 2 p.m. PST. Yeah. So who knows what the 7:30 one is?
11:30.
There you go. Way. Yeah, that's where you'll find me. Yeah.
All right, Ewan, where can people find you?
Can I just plug my YouTube channel first?
It's
Ewan Henderson Actor, and it's Ewan EWAN. But please check it out and subscribe if you want. And I'm also in a show with Brenna on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, which is like 11 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
How many clocks is that?
It's too many clocks.
It's called Disaster Time, and it's so much fun to do, so hopefully it's as much fun to watch. I think it probably is. I don't know.
I have to watch them back. It is pretty fun to watch.
Oh, I see myself. I just like surprised me there. I am one half of the Electric Head. We're a little quiet at the moment, but we have about 30 head podcast. And also most of my time at the moment is taken up with Progress Wrestling, which is an independent wrestling company. And the next show you can see on the WWE Network on Saturday.
Ooh.
Woo.
You can not find me playing poker online. Because apparently I'm really not good at my poker face. Basically, you can see me on Improv Chattanooga every week. If you're so inclined, I am on Twitter, DM Sarton. Mainly all I do is just talk trash to my Senator Marsha Blackburn. So
time well spent. Marsha Blackburn is a Republican?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, that's warranted. Hi, my name is Brenna. You can find me on the Pack Theater channel on Twitch this coming Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will have an episode of Disaster Time and also the Don't Mess shows that Laura mentioned. I'm also starting a 6-week puppet improv track with ZMAC, which is a theater out of Shanghai, China. And that is available to everyone internationally. And I'm also doing a Pretty Flower workshop on the 11th that you can check out if you go to my page, Brenna Judkins Improviser.
We can't hear you, Des.
All right.
Diz!
Sorry. Thank you very much. Hey!
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Sorry, my dogs have been barking like crazy, so I'm turning my mic on and off. They're calm now, just in time for the show to end. That is it.
Yay!
Thank you again, everybody, for playing. I hope you've learned a lot about your favorite improvisers, and these people as well. No. Hey. This was a lot of fun.
Al's so sad.
Tune in next week. We'll have a slightly different cast, I think, and you'll learn more fascinating things about them as well. So, good night, everybody. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Get your vaccines. You need to do it. Don't be an idiot. Bye-bye. We want to see you in real life soon. Bye.